You wouldn't build a house without a foundation, so why try to build a business without one? Grow your contracting business and grow your mind with Growth Mindset Monday.
All right. Here we are. Another beautiful Monday morning if you're on the West Coast, afternoon if you're on the East Coast. But either way, it's a beautiful day. Man, what a crazy week last week was. Congratulations to all of you who got out there and voted. Your vote counts. Not here. We're not gonna go political on things, but your vote counts. Just remember that. If you don't like how things are running, you got a chance to make a difference, and that's by voting. So don't sit on the sidelines and complain. Do something about it. But really fun week last week. And I'm going to share a lot of the stuff that we talked about last week inside of one of our workshops with you guys. But first and foremost, you guys know the drill. If you're here live, go ahead and drop your name, your business name, and your location. And let's go ahead and give you the good old shout out. We got Domingo Navarrete says, hola, what's up, my man? Give us your business name and where you're from. We got Chapel Solar Cleaning. Funny, I just had a solar company in here this morning when we were talking about the growth of their business. So that's kind of cool. Again, if you're in here live, go ahead and drop that and we'll give you a shout out. Well, last week was a really good week for a couple different reasons, right? Number one, and first and foremost, we had this builder panel. And a builder panel was an opportunity for us to bring in all kinds of different trade business owners. And we sat them in the audience in front of 4 different builders. We had commercial, residential, we had more of a production builder, and then more of a custom home builder, right? So we had the range up there. Rosa's here, Rosalia. Rosa, welcome to the show. And so we had all these guys up there. And basically all I did was run through a series of questions. I had 20 questions set up. We got through like 12 of them. But I had 20 questions set up, and we just went through and we talked with each of the builders and said, hey, look, what is your response to this question, right? Now, you might be wondering like, well, what kind of questions would you ask builders? Well, I want you to think about it this way. If you're a trade business owner, you're going to work with 1 of 2 people. You're going to work with homeowners or you're going to work with builders, right? That's just the way it is. And so if you know that you're going to work with builders, then you probably want to know how to build business with more builders, right? How many of you guys would love to do more business with builders? Whether you're a drywall, electrician, plumber, framer, concrete guy, landscaping, right? You want to do business with builders. Cool. Well, how do you do that? Here's the problem. Most of us show up to a conversation with a builder like this. Imagine you're at a bar and you see a cute girl in the corner and you're like, man, I really want to get her number. And so you grab a drink and you walk over to her and you get her a drink and then you try and grab her number, right? And about 5 seconds into that, she turns her back to you and says, get lost. And you're like, well, what happened? I was just trying to get your number, right? Most of you guys suck at that kind of stuff. And it's okay. I get it, right? But you got to think about your relationship with builders is like dating them. And if that's the case, then what are you doing to build the relationship? Notice I didn't say anything about selling anything because frankly, at the beginning, they don't care. They don't care, right? What they care about is their business. And until number one, you can build a relationship with them. And number two, you can position yourself as being a solution to a potential problem that they may have, they don't care. Period. Hands down. We got Matt Bowen with Start to Finish out of Douglas, Georgia. Welcome to the show. Now, if you know then that builders don't care about you, not in a bad way, but they don't care about you until you're able to build a relationship with them and help them find a solution to a problem, then what do you need to do? You have to change your approach. And this was one of the things that we did this last week, right, with these builders. So I'm going to share a screen with you guys, and I'm going to show you what some of the things were that we went over with these guys. Okay. So I'm going to go through this a little bit. Let me see. Here we go. Here's one of the questions that we asked, right? What qualities do you value most in a trade partner when establishing a long-term relationship? Now, here's the 4 guys that we had here, right? Ben Wilson, Imagine Contracting Group, Cameron Barr, Barr Construction, Dan Paniagua, Pandan Construction, and Adam Breen with Breen Homes. Now, these guys collectively do probably about $40 million a year. So there's a lot of good stuff happening in the room, right? So if we look at this and we say, okay, what qualities do you value most in a trade business partner when establishing a long-term relationship? What do you guys think was the common response from these builders? The common response? Well, I'll tell you, because I'm going to sit here and you're probably, what is it? Well, number one, more than anything, was communication. That was it. Communication. Like, these guys are telling horror stories of somebody saying, hey, I want to do work for you. They send them a framing package to bid, or drywall, or paint, or whatever the thing is, and they don't hear back from them. And then they try to call them and they don't answer. Well, like, why would you want to do business with somebody like that? You wouldn't, and neither do they, right? Here's another question. Well, we talked about communication, so I'm going to skip that one. The bidding process. What common mistakes do trade businesses make during the bidding process, and how can they avoid them? Really interesting one, right? Did you know that most contractors, builders, if you will, don't take the lowest bid? They don't take the lowest bid. The quality guys, right? So if you're looking to build a relationship with quality builders, you don't want to be the lowest bid. Here's why. First thing, if you're the lowest bid, it causes concern. These guys either don't know their numbers and don't know how to bid, or they're bidding this job in a way that they're not going to make money. Therefore, they're going to try and change order us to death. Right? So think about that. When you bid a certain job, how are you bidding in a way that's profitable for you, that doesn't scare the potential business partner, the builder, if you will, away, right? How do we do that? That's what we're talking about. Okay. Here's another one for you. And I want to just go through a couple of these, right? Understanding expectations. How many of you guys actually bid, or excuse me, how many of you guys, when you bid with a builder, take the time to read the contract? Because I guarantee you're going to have issues, and they're going to fall into one of a couple different categories. The first one, and the most important one, is payment schedule. Do you guys know what a paid when paid contract is? A lot of these builders use it. Okay. A paid when paid contract means exactly what it sounds like. You get paid when the builder gets paid. If the builder doesn't get paid, you don't get paid. You need to understand that. Why? Because it could affect your cash flow. You need to know this. Okay. The other thing inside of contracts, not just payment schedules, the other thing to know are the terms, i.e. the scope of work, especially when you get into commercial jobs. You get into commercial jobs, you're going to try and sneak little things inside of the contract that if you're not paying attention to, now all of a sudden you're liable for, you're responsible for, you're going to lose money on, right? So you have to make sure that you read that. The third piece is change orders. You and I both know it's super easy to be like, well, this has got to be done. I'm just going to do it anyway. But if you don't have proof that it was approved by the builder or one of the builder's representatives, what's the likelihood, do you think, that you're going to be able to get paid for that change order? So you need a very dialed in change order process. It's written or it's digital, but it's approved by somebody, including the price, somebody that represents the builder. Otherwise, guess what? You're not going to get paid, right? Now, again, you can see there's all these things that we were discussing that had to do with doing business with a builder, right? Why would they want to do business with you? Now, the reason I'm bringing these up is for a couple different reasons, okay? Number one, you're all growing your business right now. None of you are exactly where you want to be. And a lot of you don't understand what it's going to take to grow more. I can't tell you. Justin's the same way. How many messages we get week in, week out that say one thing and one thing only. I need more leads. I need more leads. And that's the thing that people get stuck on. I need more leads. Well, do you need more leads? Sure. But if you suck at having a conversation with people and you suck at setting contracts up right and you suck at closing the deal, more leads aren't going to solve your problem. Okay, well, let's say you have those things figured out. But if you don't know how to do the work at a level that doesn't require you to come back or cause complaints, then more leads isn't going to help you. If you don't have a team that can fulfill on the work that you want to be able to be doing, doesn't make sense, then guess what? You're going to have issues. You're going to have problems. And ultimately, more leads is not going to solve those problems. So before you need more leads, what you need is a way to run your business in a systematic way that'll bring you the jobs that you want. Now, it sounds really cool to talk about it, right? But what does that actually look like? Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Justin and I are going to be doing a little experiment. We've been talking about this for a while. Okay, we're going to do a little experiment. The experiment is we're going to start a company at zero. That's right. We're going to start a contracting company. In fact, I'll let you guys know it's going to be a roofing company. We're going to start it at zero. And we're going to see what it takes to get to $1 million. How quick can we get to $1 million? Not only that, we're going to show you how we're doing it, right? What do the conversations look like? What do the contracts look like? What do the jobs look like? What do the payment schedule and terms look like? What about the CRM? Yes, we are going to be using Contractor Plus, right? What do all these things look like that are going to help us get to that 7-figure mark? And we're going to walk you through it. So think about it as reality TV in the contracting world. We're really excited about it. But more than anything, what I'm excited about is being able to show you exactly what it takes to get it done. All right. We got a little late show up here. We got Daniel with Noble Custom Glass checking in from Greensboro, Georgia. Welcome to the show. All right. I'm going to show you guys something else now. And we talk about setting up a business to succeed. A lot of people struggle with this. Okay. They struggle with understanding what it takes to succeed. And so what we created, and I'm showing you kind of behind the scenes, but what we created was this contractor scorecard. Now, it's really easy to do something when you know what it is that you need to do. But when you don't know what it is that you need to do, it's a little difficult, okay? So we created this questionnaire. I'm just going to walk through a couple of these questions, right? They scan everything that you need to be conscious of and about in your business. Now, again, most contractors just say they need more leads. But the truth is they need to understand what marketing is. And you look at this question, do you have a marketing system, including a sales funnel that helps you predictably get leads, nurture them, and close them? That's a marketing system. The answer is no. Then, hey, weather comes, weather goes, referrals come, referrals go. That's a horrible way to run a business. Here's another picture. Do you have a clear picture of who you're marketing to and what you're offering them? You're doing glass, you're doing remodels, you're doing pressure washing, whatever you're doing, like your business model is not for everybody. So let's take this roofing company, for example. It's going to be a commercial roofing company, and it's only going to be new jobs, period. So we're very specific on who we're going to work with. We're very specific on what we're going to do for them, which makes marketing super easy on our part. I can walk up to a developer or a builder and be like, hey, My name is Gerritt. I'm with ABC Roofing. That's not the name, but I'm not going to tell you the name yet. But I'm with ABC Roofing, and this is what we do. It's very easy for them to understand what we do and what we can do for them. Okay? Let's look at this next question. Are you booked out more than a month in advance with profitable work? If the answer is no, I know how you're waking up every morning. You're stressed out. You feel it right here in the back of your neck. Ugh, it's tight. You grab your phone and you're immediately looking. Do I have any jobs? Do I have any jobs? Do I have any jobs? Where's that next job going to come from? What am I going to do to find that next job? Job. Horrible way to live, day to day to day. We want to be booked out more than a month in advance. What about this one? Do you have a process for job costing to make sure you are bidding jobs profitably every time? Think about that. Like right now, when you bid a job, how is it that you're bidding that job? Are you bidding it off of dollars? Are you bidding it off knowing what your costs are, your fixed and your variable costs, knowing what it's going to take in manpower and equipment, materials to get the job done, to make sure that you're going to be profitable? I had a framing company in here the other day, and we were talking about the largest framing project that they are going to do to date. In total, it's framing up 135,000 square feet of apartments. 135,000 square feet. The framing job alone, labor and materials, but the framing job alone is a $2.5 million framing job. Think about that for a minute. Most of you guys, that's like a home run. In fact, for a lot of companies, that's a home run, right? But the problem was that they weren't bidding it the right way. Because when I asked them what their bids included, and they're like, oh, well, we got material and we got labor. And I'm like, oh, that's great. You know, these are 3-story apartments. Yeah. Okay. So how are you going to get up to the 3rd floor? How are you going to get your material up to the 3rd floor? They got to rent a crane. And guess what a crane is? $28,000 a month, at least the crane that they need. And it's going to take 6 to 8 weeks. So let's go 2 months with a crane. That's $56,000. So if you didn't bid to include your material and your equipment, you're going to lose out on a potential $56,000 of profit. Do you see what I mean? So business is less about doing the thing, and it's more about setting yourself up to succeed at the thing. Right? So I want you guys to think right now. I've talked about a few different things, threw some stuff out there that had to do with working with builders, that had to do with making sure your marketing's set up right. Like there's so many things right now that you need to be focused on in your business, but there's only one that's the most important thing. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. Like, what is the most important thing right now in your business that you need to be focused on? What is that one thing? Is that one thing dialing in the people that I want to work with? Is that one thing dialing in my marketing message? Is that one thing leveraging a CRM like Contractor Plus to follow up with my potential leads? Is that one thing finding that next person that I need to hire? Is that one thing sitting down with an accountant and figuring out how to price my jobs profitably every single time? Which, by the way, we have a guy, so if you need a referral, I got you. But what's the one thing for you? Because here's the truth about everything in life. As much as we like to think we can do multiple things at the same time, we can't. You're probably going to bring up chewing gum and walking. Okay, fine, whatever. But try like tapping your head and rubbing your stomach, right? Like it's really hard to do more than one thing at a time. It's the same thing in your business. And so if you can't determine what that most important thing is, there's a high likelihood that you're not going to get the results that you're after, period. But if you can focus on that thing that matters the most, I can almost guarantee you'll get the results you're after. because you're focused on it, because you're clear on what needs to happen, and you're taking the action to get those results that ultimately you're after. So today, more than anything, yes, it's Veterans Day, and thank a veteran if you see one. But I want you to take some time to get clear on what that next thing is for you. What's the next thing that you need to do? And how is it that you're going to make sure that it gets done the way it needs to get done so that you can get the results that you're after? All right. You guys know what time it is. It's time to get after it. 3, 2, 1.